Boom! Episode 170 something of the Slaphead and Giraffe podcast.
That's
we
all
have
as we get.
returning guest of the century,
Yeah.
Shaun Attwood. I've read all your books since we last.
Wow, I'm totally impressed.
The prison one, Hard Time.
Yeah.
Hard Time, yeah. It's
Yeah.
that was quite hard to work through. I think because I know you,
Yeah.
it didn't just feel like reading a story. It just felt like kind of traumatic.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it, and I was just thinking, do you have any kind of residuals from that experience, like PTSD?
Before you do that,
It's quite hardcore, but
is it worth Shaun just giving us a little recap? I'm just thinking if anyone has
a little recap. The most interesting life in history.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But someone listening to this who might not listen to the last one, although I've put up a little bit of his wiki on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to give us just literally a minute synopsis and then go into that? I know, it
Yeah,
won't be easy,
yeah.
will it? It won't be easy.
I'd like to thank all the listeners that voted.
The guest of the year.
Yeah, that was really appreciate that. And my story, you know, as a young person, got interested in the stock market, made more money than I had common sense in Arizona. Used to visit Arizona as a kid, and that dazzled me, the swimming pools and everything. The hairy accent, walk the red carpet. So I made all this money in my 20s. Started to throw rave parties with it. No ecstasy out there, very small amounts, so I ended up importing tons of ecstasy from Holland, and then SWAT team smashed my door down, so I ended up in the jail that's got the highest rate of death in America, so it wasn't my brightest idea to be breaking the law. Where, I mean, I've got videos on my YouTube channel now of guards murdering mentally ill prisoners, and Aryan Brotherhood neo-Nazis murdering a guy who refused to beat someone up for the gang.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, sorry Chris, go back to your...
Can you took the dog out? There's just this scratchy noise in the background.
She'll sit down in a minute. She'll sit down, just give her a couple of minutes. She's tired herself out, she's only small, she's got about another 2 minutes of being. She wants you to throw a ball for her.
Oh no,
she doesn't realise.
Joe Rogan doesn't have to put up with this shit.
Call her over, Giz.
Yeah, so my question is, it's a hardcore way to start a podcast.
Yeah.
But I had nowhere near anything as traumatic as happened to you in my life. In my life, as happened in your life. But
Yeah.
I had this experience when I was younger where I got stuck on a mountain and had to be mountain rescued, right? And got hypothermia and
Wow.
and
Yeah.
I definitely have a little bit of trauma. I don't like thinking about it. I don't like talking about
Yeah.
it, or it makes me uncomfortable.
How old are you?
I'm now 34, but I was only 19 at the
We
time.
missed the trick
Yeah.
there, we could have said
So-
yes. Guess how old he is.
I'm 32. I said 34. But I feel like it's getting easier. Like, it bothers me less and less because I
Yeah.
feel like I'm a different person than that person. But it's definitely like I have a little bit of trauma from it, and that's
Yeah.
nothing compared to what you've gone through.
Mm-hmm.
So, do these things come up when you have to like manage your own mind to not think about things in a certain way?
When I got out of prison, and I was getting asked a lot about things, there was still certain things I couldn't talk about right away.
Yeah.
So there's things like almost getting beat to death by some drunks in my teens that I've only really been able to talk about in more recent years.
And was this before everything?
This was when I was just past my driver's license test in this country.
Yeah.
Went to fill up my mum's little red car with some petrol, and some drunks, like rugby player sized guys in the 20s, started to behave abusively, and I thought it was brave to stand up to them. It was a mistake. They just got me on the floor, smashing me, kicking me in the face. One out of the 9 bars smashed me in the face, knocking bits of my teeth out, so I got these veneers on my front teeth to this day.
Right.
So they basically left me for dead in a pool of blood, unconscious. And I wouldn't go up and dance. I could go and dance, could talk to women. You know, it compounded this anxiety I had as a teenager. But what brought it out? I was in a karate lineup and fighting one after another of these guys, and I started hyperventilating in this karate lineup. And in the end, I had to just lay down on the floor, and it all flashed back to me. And I realised I'd been holding this in for so long. It was destabilising me mentally, and I needed to start to deal with it.
Mm.
When something's fresh and raw, it's hard to talk to someone about it. But once a certain time has elapsed, I think it's good to talk about it. It's therapeutic.
So do you feel like there's enough time that it doesn't feel. It feels like you're talking about an old version of you, so it's not so raw. You know what I mean?
That's a good way, an interesting way of looking at it.
Yeah.
I still feel the pain inside me, so
Yeah.
I've not completely detached it as a separate version of me, but it's something that I've come to terms with, and I had to go deep inside myself to understand why I got involved in drugs.
Yeah.
And part of that was looking at this anxiety problem I had social anxiety, and all the stuff from being a teenager. I was taking drugs on the weekends and being this wild and crazy party person, but inside I was still this shy, anxious person.
Yeah.
And getting out of prison, the world's a safe place, so my anxiety then is way down.
So do you think this original incident of you being attacked at a petrol station, do you think that destroys your worldview because you were young and innocent, and then it's like you're exposed to something so horrible?
I wouldn't say that it destroyed my worldview. I would say that I'm naturally optimistic, happy-go-lucky person. I'd say that it did compound my anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how can we...
Sorry. Then when you come out of prison,
Yeah.
when you come out and you were semi-famous, or famous, or whatever,
Yeah.
did that make it worse? Did you have a kind of, you know, when you came out of prison and then... Did you have problems because of what happened in prison in a similar kind of way? Like
Right.
PTSD from prison?
So I had social anxiety. I
Yeah.
felt I needed to be on drugs to be around people.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I'm in prison now, forced to be around some people I would have crossed the road to avoid,
Yeah.
some maniacs, and I'm sober.
Yeah.
And the therapist said if you've got anxiety over anything, the way to cure it is to confront it head on.
Yeah.
I was forced to confront my anxiety head on.
Right.
So then you get out of prison,
Yep.
and people aren't about to shank you in the pub or whatever, or most places anyway.
Yeah.
So
It was up north, so, you know, so...
your adrenaline's on full tilt.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you're around people who are much safer, so you don't feel that anxiety anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I get a little bit every now and then, but nowhere near like I had prior to going in. So I don't feel the need to take drugs because I'm happy in my own skin now.
Yeah.
So I'm getting anxiety because I want to murder this dog.
It's
not even a real dog.
We might have to lock her upstairs if she can't calm herself down. We might have to lock her. Typical, isn't it?
You never stand up to a ball of
On the plus side, we've never claimed to be professional, have we? So we did open up with episode 170 something.
Shaun's got his 10 billion YouTube.
She wants to be famous, that's all it is. She just wants to be famous. Everyone tells her she looks like she should do modelling or something because she's, you know, she just thinks she's famous.
Social inclusion, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, really long rambling question, right? So, I was thinking about what to ask you, and I was listening to this podcast the other day, and it was a monk, right? And he was talking about how he'd been meditating for years to let go of attachment. So he found some kind of peace with that.
Yeah.
And then I was listening to another podcast where a very, very rich, successful person was talking about how they became worth several $100 million. And they bought everything they want and realised it wasn't enough to make them happy.
Yeah.
So kind of achieved, it felt like the same thing.
Yeah.
Like it was no longer being attached to the material world. And I thought, it's kind of interesting because you've almost lived both of those lives, essentially.
Yeah.
And what kind of, you know, if you had to give advice to someone like me and Darren who's never lived the extreme of either, you know, what's the takeaway from both of those?
Right. In the jail cell, I was a monk, and I went from having no money at all, coming from the northwest, to making a lot of money.
Do you know
Because I thought that was the meaning of life.
you were worth at the most?
In the stock market, I was worth about $2 million.
Right.
That's not counting the drug business.
Yeah. Do you know what the most money you've ever had is? Because someone asked this on Twitter. What? Obviously, it's not easy because it's not.
So if you add the value of the drug business into the stock market business, it wasn't over $5 million.
Right.
My drug debts by the time the outstanding drug debts by the time I was arrested were $500,000.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and that was no big deal because there was so much money coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah. happiness then, you're basically asking a philosophical question.
Yeah,
What is happiness?
What is the key to happiness? But
meaning of life?
yeah.
Is the meaning of life materialism? I thought it was, because I thought greed is good. Go out and get into the business world and, you know, Gordon Gekko, Wall Street, all that. So once I had all that wealth, I just pissed it away on stupid things, getting limo rides here and there, jumping on a plane, going to Vegas and all that stuff. There were some drugged up happy times, but there was also a lot of soullessness.
Yeah.
And it attracted a lot of problems. It wasn't the meaning of life. In fact, my first year in the jail, I was still wild, and I would have gone back to the lifestyle if I'd have been released. Second year in the jail, they told me I'm facing the maximum 200-year sentence. And what that did to me psychologically was made me stop pining for my $1 million house on the mountainside, my twin turbo sports car, my plasma screen TV, my swimming pool. What that did was, when you're facing 200 years, it focuses you only on the possibility of getting your life back.
Yeah.
So getting sentenced to 9.5 years was one of the happiest days of my life, because I thought I was never going to get my life back.
Yeah.
And during that second year, as I stopped thinking about those material things, as I got detached from them, I actually wrote home in a letter to my parents, I feel like a mad monk in a cave right now. I'm liberated from all that material stuff that I was so attached to. I've got this sense of freedom from it and happiness and joy that I don't have those things that I pined for ever since I was a teenager.
Wow.
It's strange, isn't it? And so this is my variant on that. Years ago, I used to. I know this will be a terrible.
Phone in sky,
yeah.
TV, and just giving up and being happy about it.
Exactly. Yeah. No, years ago, I used to own a greyhound with a friend who was a multi-millionaire. So he basically he either created or something to do with the originator of Haynes manuals. You know, the car manuals.
Yeah.
So multi-millionaire. I used to own a dog with him. I'm not even sure how it used to happen, but anyway, we used to own a greyhound together. His dad was a trainer, and very rarely, however people think dog racing's corrupt, very rarely was his dad to turn around and say, "You want to back this today?" You know, be whatever. Yeah. So every single race she ran, I'd have Ray's tenner on. I'd put his tenner on. All the time, he'd have a tenner on.
Yeah.
And about 4 times we ever owned her, his dad's gone, "She's absolutely flying at home. I really do think she's going to win today. I'd be amazed if she doesn't win." Which was, you know, I was 20 and I probably had $1,000 in the bank, that kind of thing. And I was like, now 6 to 1, I'm going to have like 50 quid on. And then Ray would go, "I'll put my tenner on with it and make it 60. And I'd say, have a grand, have a go. You know, like your dad's basically all about saying she's going to win. You know, don't you want to have a right go? And he said, one of the times I actually, in a way, wish I didn't have a load of money is it's irrelevant to me. He said, I don't want it to sound horrible because you're young. He said, but whether I have tenner on, 100 quid, grand on, it will make no difference to me. Yeah. If she wins, she wins. I'm pleased that she wins.
It's got that sense of danger to be excited.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, whether it, you know, he could have even backed her to win 100 grand, and it probably wouldn't raise his heart rate by more than 20% above what it would be anyway. Yeah. So in a way, it's my variant on your story that, you know, in my little world.
Once you start to make money, the things that you're concerned about that stress you out financially don't stress you out anymore, and it's not making a difference to your life. Yeah. I've
heard a lot of people that have become successful and they've said that the money doesn't make them happiness, it's just a problem that's solved. It's like, you know, not having money makes you unhappy, but having it doesn't make you happy. Or it's temporary.
It can cause a lot of problems. I'm about to publish the longest ever book about Pablo Escobar right now, 1,000 pages long. I've just got all this stuff translated from Spanish, and it's made me learn so much more about him. It's changed my view of his story. And there was a point where his brother said, "Look, we're worth multi-millions right now, or billions, whatever it was. Why don't we just buy our own island and kick back?
Yeah.
And we won't get killed, we won't end up in prison, etc." And Pablo said to him, "You want me to kick back on some quiet island with a drink sat on a deck chair when I'm running this multi-million-dollar thing with all this power over all these people? You think I'm just going to quit this for that?" He was addicted to that. That was what was putting meaning into his life.
Yeah.
Was not necessarily the money, but being a powerful character in the scene. And I had elements of that as well, because I'd made all this money, But what was more important to me was you throw a party for 10,000 people, you know, all these beautiful women are coming up to you, thanking you for the ecstasy, and you got these after parties going.
Well, the fact that 10,000 people would come to your party, like, so good for your ego. Like.
Yeah, ego ends up as big as the Grand Canyon at that point. And again, I was trying to find the meaning of life from money, from building a community, from attention and ego, and none of these things worked in the long run. They were all lessons I had to learn.
Wow. So it's all just temporary, that's the problem.
It's temporary, yeah. Happiness is in your heart, what you thought to make it, and having good people around you and good people that you love.
Yeah, I find often businessmen, I'm sure, Pablo Escobar as well, like the money is like points in a computer game. It's not, I need a certain amount, it's just, this shows I'm winning, you know, I've got more points than someone else.
Yeah. Power over people. And
that celebrity tips as well, don't they? You know, like a celebrity might give a load of money or whatever to charity or leave big tips or whatever, but they're almost doing it to satisfy themselves because they're making a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
Like I remember when George Michael died, all this stuff appeared about stuff that he actually did that no one knew anything about.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of other people, it would be like, oh, such and such gave 5 million to cancer research the other day, you know, but they wanted to make a public thing about it because the money almost doesn't matter to them.
It's a publicity stunt in the extreme, isn't it? You got celebs going, adopting a baby from Africa, and it's all a big quick publicity thing.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
See, I found through my line of work, like, you know, me and Darren can often end up training people that are very successful and might get sued for saying his name, but screw it. I used to train James Murdoch, right, when he was running Sky TV and all the European businesses, and it was when he was on the news every day for the phone hacking scandal. He was in front of Parliament, and like literally every day on the news I'd see him, and then on Sunday I'd be working, come in and hit pads. He loves martial arts, right? And you would every newspaper was just, you know, biggest bastard in the world, like scumbag, and he'd come in on Sunday just smiling, happy to be whistling, and I was like, well, I don't want to ask him about it, but I was, how's your week? And he was like, not too bad. He was like, I can choose if to be happy or not. I'm choosing to be happy. Yeah. And that was it. And I was like, wow, there's such like good mental control. I guess it's his whole life of growing up being slagged off for being a murderer. But
yeah, also he's in that. That's all he knew, wasn't it? When he was eight or whatever, his dad was, you know.
But what he said was the bottom line. I can choose to be happy.
Yeah.
So in the Stoic philosophy that I read, Epictetus were disturbed not by things, but by the view that we take of them. So in prison, people picking on each other all day long. People who react the most get picked on the most. But according to what you just said and what Epictetus said, someone could get in my face and say, I'm going to kill your entire family and rape your mum right in front of you. I could choose and just think, alright, this person's mentally ill, obviously. I'm not going to engage. I'm just going to detach and walk away. Or I could get mad, clock this guy in the face, get in a situation, end up back in prison. It's all a choice, like you just said.
Epictetus was a slave, right?
Yeah.
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 So
listen to you.
I know, the two, like...
Wow! Have you two planned this somehow?
It's that last time.
No, but it's it, like the two, you know, Stoic philosophers I've read are Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, so you got the emperor and the slave, and they come to the same conclusion. But it's a bit like before I was saying, you know, the monk in the cave and the millionaire coming to the same conclusion. Kind of
talking of say you've got the choice, do you want to have a choice to have some food?
Where's this food from? This looks like Asda Special.
Well, Christopher, this is from one of our many sponsors. We're going to get onto lots of sponsors today because we've almost got contrasting sponsors at some point, but we'll get onto that later. This is from one of our sponsors, Momador's Kitchen. Handmade
Italian samosas.
Indian. He tries to fuck up every single advert. There's one ad we've got.
It's more memorable there.
Yeah, it is. You're right, actually. Yeah. Oh, is that the one Chris fucks on all the time? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Handmade samosas and poppadoms.
Wow.
And you might want to avoid this, Shaun, so we did check this with you first. But hot chili sauce, or you might just want to have a little dab, just to say.
I thought you were a man of extremes.
Just to be on the wild side again.
Days.
A little dab of hot chili sauce. And what's that?
Coriander and mint.
Raita.
Yeah.
And raita. There, you see, I almost sounded Indian then. So if you hear us munching, we don't give a fuck, basically. We're going to be munching away. If you want some deliciousness that is handmade, gluten-free, sugar-free, everything, all spice blends, gift boxes, chilli sauce, I'd honestly say we sleep on the best mattress I've ever slept on, which we'll get onto. I've also...
But now the dog's wandering around again.
Yeah, you are right, because food's come out. She has got her high heels on again. And this is also the best chilli sauce I've ever had in my life. And I've had lots of chilli sauce because I love chilli. So, go to mamadorskitchen.co.uk. M-A-M-A-D-O-R-S kitchen.co.uk. If you can't spell kitchen... Oh, there you go. So, and sure, there's
a
line
man
that
that spent 9 years eating prison food.
And what was the first thing And what was the first thing you did when you got out of prison?
Yeah.
Went for chicken tikka masala.
Oh, well, there you go.
What got the gag reflex?
Yeah.
Because of the red death mystery meat slop that occasionally had dead rats in it.
Yeah.
So to this day I've stayed veggie.
Oh,
But
okay.
Indian food is the best with veggie. They've got so many choices.
And how many veggie foods have you got?
5.
5, what are they? Come on, your own advert here.
Chana masala.
Oh!
Oh!
Onion
You're
bhajis.
going to have to make a pot.
Vegetable samosas.
Mm.
Dal. There's one more.
One more. Oh, the pressure.
Taka dal is
Bombay
like
potatoes.
Taka dal is like my all-time favourite.
You
I
got any?
love
any
Bombay
knocked up?
potatoes and chana masala.
None ready. Oh, we'll send some down to Shaun.
Yeah.
We'll get. I think I've got his address anyway somewhere. But yeah, we'll get your address. We'll send you some down. Mate.
Thank you.
So, so yeah, if you want some, go to mamadorskitchen.co.uk. If you can't spell kitchen, you're not going to be clever enough to order anyway. So, and use the code MAMASPICY, MAMASPICY for 10% discount on us. Get on it.
And this has got such a good taste. It's like got that balance of not getting the head sweat spice, but the right level of spice and the tastiness.
Yeah, it's funny actually. I love hot stuff. This is completely genuine. I love hot, really hot. But if it's just, I went to a spice thing in Brighton when I lived there years ago, and tried what was allegedly the hottest curry in the world.
Jesus.
And they gave it on it was literally about a quarter of a tablespoon, of a teaspoon, sorry. And you just felt this hotness going down, and there was nothing. There was literally no flavour whatsoever. It was absolutely disgusting. It did give me heart palpitations. It was really, really hot, but it was pointless because it didn't taste of anything nice. Do you want any chilli sauce, Chris, or are you alright?
I'll go with it. I'm not in the mood to shit my pants today. It's a running joke.
Yeah, Chris has just got the worst stomach in the world.
Oh dear.
So we're going to get on to something we talked about briefly earlier, and it's a question from Dave, who's one of our loyal listeners. Stocks and shares currently. Have you ever dabbled in stocks and shares, Chris? No.
I got like gambling, stocks, anything I don't know anything about. I try to avoid putting money towards.
That's fair enough. So stocks and shares at the moment, Shaun. You dabble personally just for yourself. You don't actually like tip to people. Is that right?
Well,
What should we buy?
since speaking to you guys last year, and I'm True Geordie,
Yeah.
I told everybody not to buy Bitcoin towards the end of last year and to put money into Canadian cannabis shares.
Yeah.
They're up anywhere from a double to 1,000%. TLRY is up 1,000%. Aurora Cannabis, Canopy Grove, Afria, they're all doubles right now. And I put a video up just over a month ago on my YouTube channel when they were down in the dumps saying Canada's fully legalising, it's implemented second week of October. They're not going to stay down here, they're going to start to go, and they've doubled just in that 1 month since they were back down in the dumps.
So have we missed this now, or is it something we need to
I
start
am a
involved in?
seller of cannabis shares presently.
You are? Right.
Yes.
Right.
Is this just Canadian cannabis shit?
Mostly Canadian cannabis, but right now GW Pharma, biggest pot plant in this country, is owned by GW Pharma. They've got the spray, multiple sclerosis, kids with epilepsy. Actually, FDA is now going to be, the DEA is going to be forced by the FDA now to reduce cannabis, or at least some of the like CBD oil, down to less than Schedule 1 because of GW farmers had medicine recently FDA approved. So that should be coming through any day now.
So, a friend of mine owned a company called CBD Sensei, which is like they do CBD oils and stuff.
We got fucking
I know, and then also Feel Supreme sponsors this podcast, CBD oil. I know, but I was just saying. So my friend said that apparently Coca-Cola is coming out with a CBD drink. It won't be called Coca-Cola, but the Coca-Cola group is coming out with a CBD drink. And that will be so mass market that it will completely change the way people perceive it. And like, we had a CBD sponsor, Feel Supreme, fantastic supplements, and I thought it was complete bollocks. I was like, there's no way this will work. And then I tried it, and I do jiu-jitsu, some kind of martial arts twice a day, every day.
Yeah.
So I'm always sore and broken. And I've never found anything that made such a difference as CBD oil.
My mum's on it. My mum's on it for anxiety.
Yeah.
I just take it for general health and well-being, and it absolutely boosts your immune system. Now, Queen Victoria's doctor said that the cannabis plant was the most medicinal plant in the world, and he was right. And the reason that cannabis was made illegal in the first place before the federal laws was the pharmaceutical societies of America didn't want people growing free medicine in their own backyards.